I'm rereading a classic book that I love. It's called Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Most people have heard of it. My copy is actually getting a little bit ratty right now because I've read through it quite a few times. But I'm struck with how there are basic principles that Stephen Covey talks about that are so valuable. And one of them that is standing out to me right now is living your life directed by a compass rather than a roadmap. If you think about this, so much of the time we think that if we plan out every day and we plan out every week and we plan out every part of our journey that we will get to where we want to go. And that's actually not the quickest way to reach our goals. It's not the best, most fulfilling way to live life. By far, the better option is to look long-term. Look at our goals, our long-term goals. Look at our values. Take a really good close look at your values. And when you really understand what your values are and your goals are, then what you can do is just point in that direction and keep pointing in that direction, because we get sidetracked all the time. Whether you're on a roadmap, and this is why a roadmap sometimes falls apart for us, because we're going to go off track. There's sometimes it says there's a road on the map that doesn't exist. I'm sure that's happened to all of us at times. Or other times we just get sidetracked and we lose our bearings in different ways. When we lose our bearings, we have a compass. We can immediately just go back to the compass bearing and point to the direction that we want to be at. When we've got a roadmap, we lose the roadmap. Something else happens. We're lost. Goals and values. What do you want and why do you want it? What about it do you want? What are your values? Think about these constantly. This is actually coming into focus again for me in so many ways. As I'm making some really significant life decisions right now and investment decisions. And as I go through this process, I'm floored with how that compass bearing helps so often. So many times I've been out in the woods, and it's easy to get lost in the woods. You don't see mountains around you or any really large points that you can work towards. So you just see trees around you, and we often typically go off a little bit in one direction, often a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left, over a long distance, unless we've got some kind of bearing in the far distance. And when we've got that compass, I can pull it at any time, and it just says, okay, yeah, you might be off a little bit. Just go in this direction. You'll get back on track. And that's what we need in life. So my challenge to you, my kind of action step that I always like to leave people with is, when is the last time you looked at your compass? When is the last time you pulled it out and you said, what is my compass bearing? What are my values? What are my long-term goals? I promise you that if you have a goal that's longer than 2 years in the future, your plan will change. Your plan will change numerous times, most likely. That's okay. Plans can change. Just make sure that you're always on track with your goals and your values, that compass setting. That will direct you. You'll be okay long term. And that probably shouldn't change very often or in great detail. I've made a reference in my email here about a webinar that I'm doing this weekend. If you're interested, to read the email, and you can read more about what I'm doing this weekend. It's talking about some of the real estate deals that I've been putting together. I'm excited to share the details with other people who are interested in real estate. Have a brilliant week. Enjoy.